What you're about to witness is one of the most jaw-dropping moments of overconfidence ever captured in Judge Caprio's courtroom. A cocky teenager who thinks he's a legal expert because of Reddit, an argument so absurd it will make you cringe. And Judge Caprio's response that delivers a lesson this kid will never forget. But before we dive into this incredible case that proves the internet doesn't make you a lawyer, let me ask you something. Where are you watching us from? United States? Canada? Australia? United Kingdom? Germany? And if you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we bring you the most unforgettable Judge Caprio moments that teach powerful lessons. Trust me, this takedown is legendary. It's a Thursday afternoon in Providence, Rhode Island. The courtroom has been moving through the usual cases when the bailiff calls a name that's about to change the entire energy. Tyler Morrison, reckless driving and multiple traffic violations. Through the doors walks a kid who can't be more than 19 years old. Tyler has that specific kind of confidence that only comes from someone who's never truly faced consequences. He's wearing a hoodie and jeans to court, earbuds hanging around his neck, and he's actually smirking as he approaches the podium. He's carrying his phone in one hand and a folder under his arm that he keeps tapping like it contains some secret weapon. Judge Caprio looks up, immediately recognizing the type, the overconfident kid who thinks he's smarter than everyone else. Good afternoon, Mr. Morrison. I see here you were cited for reckless driving, speeding 23 miles over the limit in a residential zone, and running a stop sign. These are serious violations. How do you plead if you're already sensing this kid is about to embarrass himself spectacularly? Hit that like button right now. Tyler actually smiles wider. Your Honor, I plead not guilty, and I'm prepared to argue my case because I've done extensive research on traffic law. He opens his folder dramatically. I've been studying legal precedents, and I'm confident I can prove these charges are invalid. Judge Caprio raises an eyebrow. You've been studying legal precedents? Are you a law student, Mr. Morrison? Tyler shakes his head, still smirking. No, Your Honor. I'm a sophomore at community college, but I've been reading our legal advice on Reddit for over 2 years. I've read hundreds of cases. I understand how the system works, and I know my rights. The courtroom goes completely silent. Did he just say he learned law from Reddit? The clerk looks up in disbelief. The prosecutor's mouth drops open. Even the bailiff has to suppress a laugh. I see. Judge Caprio's tone is carefully neutral. Well, Mr. Morrison, this court is always interested in hearing defenses. Please, proceed with your argument. Tyler straightens up, clearly thinking he's about to blow everyone's mind. Your Honor, according to multiple threads I've read on Reddit, specifically R, legal advice, traffic citations can be dismissed if there are any errors in how they're written. He waves the citation. This ticket says I was driving 48 in a 25 zone, but the officer didn't specify whether that was my speedometer reading or his radar gun reading. That's an inconsistency. Under the precedent discussed in a Reddit thread from 8 months ago that makes this citation invalid. Drop a comment right now if you're already cringing. Tell me what country you're watching from, because I guarantee you're thinking the same thing. Judge Caprio leans back. Mr. Morrison, let me understand this correctly. You're basing your legal defense on a Reddit thread? Tyler nods enthusiastically, completely missing the tone. Yes, Your Honor, and there's more. According to another highly upvoted post, if you can prove you were driving safely despite the speed, the court has to take that into consideration. I was completely in control of my vehicle. I've been driving for 3 years, never had an accident. The speed limit is just a suggestion anyway for people who can handle their cars. The prosecutor puts her head in her hands. Judge Caprio's voice gets sharper. Mr. Morrison, the speed limit is not a suggestion. It's the law. And the fact that you haven't had an accident yet doesn't give you the right to drive recklessly through residential neighborhoods where children play. Tyler waves his hand dismissively. Your Honor, with all due respect, I read on Reddit that judges have to consider mitigating circumstances, and my mitigating circumstance is that I'm a good driver who was just in a hurry. I had a Fortnite tournament starting in 20 minutes that I'd paid an entry fee for. That's basically an economic necessity. I couldn't miss it, or I'd lose money. So speeding was justified. Share this video right now, because this is the most ridiculous defense you'll ever hear. And Judge Caprio's response is about to be absolutely savage. Judge Caprio leans forward, his patience clearly being tested. Mr. Morrison, are you seriously arguing that your video game tournament justified driving 48 miles per hour through a residential neighborhood? Tyler nods confidently. Yes, Your Honor. Economic necessity. It's a legitimate legal defense. I read about it on Reddit. The judge takes off his glasses. Mr. Morrison, economic necessity is a defense used when someone steals food because they're literally starving. It is not a defense for speeding to a video game tournament. Do you understand the difference? Tyler looks annoyed, like the judge just isn't getting it. Your Honor, I paid a $50 entry fee. That's a lot of money to me. If I didn't show up, I'd lose that money. And according to Reddit, judges are supposed to be sympathetic to financial hardship. Judge Caprio's voice gets very quiet. Mr. Morrison, let me explain something about the law and about this courtroom. The law is not something you learn by reading Reddit threads. Reddit is not a law school. Random strangers on the internet giving legal opinions are not judges, not lawyers, and certainly not qualified to teach you how to defend yourself in court. Tell me in the comments if you've ever met someone this confidently wrong. This is peak overconfidence in action. Tyler is starting to look less confident now, but his ego won't let him back down. Judge Caprio continues. When you were driving 48 miles per hour through that residential neighborhood, did you think about the families who live there? The children who might be playing? Tyler shrugs. I was paying attention. I would have stopped if someone was there. At 48 miles per hour, your stopping distance is approximately 170 feet. If a child had run into the street, you would not have been able to stop in time. That child would be dead, and your Fortnite tournament would suddenly seem very unimportant. The cockiness is completely gone from Tyler's face now. He's pale. Your Honor, I didn't think about it like that. Exactly. You didn't think. And then you came into my courtroom, having read some Reddit threads, and thought you could talk your way out of consequences. Judge Caprio picks up the citation. Let me tell you what's going to happen, Mr. Morrison. Based on your violations and your complete lack of remorse, I'm imposing the maximum fine for reckless driving, speeding 23 over in a residential zone, and running a stop sign. That's $2,215. Tyler's eyes go wide. $2,000? Your Honor, I can't afford that. I'm a college student. That's interesting, because 5 minutes ago you were telling me about your $50 video game tournament. You'll have 90 days to pay. Hit that subscribe button if you think this kid desperately needs this reality check. But Judge Caprio isn't finished. Additionally, I'm ordering you to complete a defensive driving course, an in-person 8-hour course where you'll learn about actual traffic laws from actual qualified instructors. and I'm suspending your license for 30 days. 30 days? How am I supposed to get to work and school? The same way millions of people without cars do it. You take the bus. You ask for rides. And while you're taking that bus, I want you to think about the fact that you're inconvenienced for 30 days because of your choices. The family of a child you could have killed would have been inconvenienced for the rest of their lives. The courtroom is dead silent. Tyler looks like he might cry. Judge Caprio's tone softened slightly. Mr. Morrison, I'm not doing this to punish you, although you deserve punishment. I'm doing this to educate you before you kill someone or kill yourself. You're 19 years old. You have your whole life ahead of you. But if you keep driving like this, that life might be very short. Is any video game tournament worth that? Tyler shakes his head, tears in his eyes. No, Your Honor. Then prove it. Pay these fines. Take that class. Serve your suspension. Learn actual traffic laws from actual experts, not from strangers on the internet. And when you get your license back, drive like you understand that you're operating a deadly weapon that requires respect and responsibility. One more thing. When you complete your defensive driving course, I want you to write me a letter, a handwritten letter, explaining what you learned from actual qualified instructors, not Reddit, and explaining how your perspective has changed. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor, Tyler whispers. Good. Court is adjourned. The gavel comes down sharply. Comment below if you think this sentence is fair. Should overconfident teenagers who endanger others face maximum penalties? As Tyler leaves the courtroom, the swagger is completely gone. He's just staring at the floor, processing that his Reddit education just cost him over $2,000 and his license. One older man in the gallery says, "Kids today think they know everything because they can Google something. They don't understand that real knowledge comes from real experience." 3 months later, Judge Caprio receives the handwritten letter. Tyler writes, "Your Honor, I completed the defensive driving course. I thought I knew everything because I'd read stuff online. I was wrong. So wrong. The course taught me about reaction times, stopping distances, the physics of crashes, the difference between 25 miles per hour and 48 miles per hour isn't just speed. It's the difference between life and death. I was arrogant and disrespectful in court. I thought Reddit made me smart, but it just made me overconfident about things I didn't understand. The fines hurt. Not having my license hurt. But you know what would have hurt more? If I killed someone that day. I think about that every day now. Thank you for the lesson, Your Honor. It was expensive and embarrassing, but I needed it. Respectfully, Tyler Morrison. Share this video if you believe young people need to learn that the internet isn't a substitute for real knowledge and real respect for the law. Before we end this story, there's an important lesson here. We live in an age where information is everywhere. You can Google anything, join any forum, read any opinion, but having access to information is not the same as having knowledge. Reading about law on Reddit doesn't make you a lawyer any more than reading about surgery makes you a doctor. Tyler learned this the hard way. The internet is an amazing tool, but it's not a substitute for real education, real training, and real expertise. Tyler walked into that courtroom thinking he was the smartest person there because of Reddit. He walked out $2,000 poorer and hopefully a lot wiser. That's an expensive education, but it might have saved his life or someone else's, and that's worth every penny. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with any young person who needs to understand that Reddit isn't a law degree, and real life requires real knowledge from real experts. See you in the next one.